So if you're anything like me, you've lost, or I've lost far too many friends over the course of my life to living within their comfort zone, or lost their lives to drugs and alcohol, to that lifestyle. And over the course of my adult life, working to become a present and loving father, and looking at the way my coping mechanisms and my selfish behaviors have kind of limited my ability to be present for others, and coming to terms with my coping mechanisms. I think the masculine we have very common coping mechanisms. We tend to lean on substance, behaviors, lots of lost hours, either video games, movies, shows, spectator sports, diving into the man cave to watch sports, and a lot of us lean on substance, or we're the workaholic or the exerciseaholic. Food is a big one, but I think, as I've started to understand my relationship with my coping mechanisms, I've recognized this phenomenon around resistance, right? So I'm ultimately, when I'm leaning on substance or those coping mechanisms, I'm resisting sticky emotions, or emotions that are less pleasant for me to feel. You think of resistance, the image of just like, water flowing or electricity flowing through a current. When there's resistance, there's a lot of suffering. When I'm resisting feelings of anger, sadness, feeling trapped, frustrated, stressed, when I'm resisting those emotions or those feelings, and I'm leaning on substance, or I'm hiding away, a lot of the suffering I'm going to experience is going to be as a result of that resistance. So one of the things that I've been doing is, in my adult life, is trying to recognize, am I allowing this experience of frustration with traffic, frustration with the kid not behaving or not listening, or my partner or my boss, or something in my outer world? Am I in a place where I'm resisting this experience and those emotions that it elicits, or am I just allowing this to naturally unfold? And I think leaning on these masculine coping mechanisms is one place that I can kind of look to and say, okay, here's something that I can do proactively. I can work towards allowing this experience to happen, whether it's something at work, something at home, something out in the community, bills. I think they're very kind of common for the masculine, who's a householder, father, husband, partner. There are kind of common stressors. How we relate to those emotions that they bring up. Are we resisting? Are we allowing? And I think, you could definitely look towards guys like Tesla and Einstein. Tesla talked about, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy can flow freely, or it can have resistance. Einstein said very clearly, we can't solve a problem at the level of consciousness that created it, the level of thinking that created it. So if I'm resisting my life, the emotions that my life is bringing up, the emotions that my life elicits, if I'm in a place of resistance, I'm not allowing that energy to flow. So I think one of the places I've been looking at in my life, especially when it comes to these masculine coping mechanisms, not to say they're, movies and sports and video games or alcohol, drugs, those aren't necessarily bad. But if you're looking for a place to kind of move the needle for yourself, if you're looking for a place to kind of change your experience in life, I think this could be a great place that you can focus, and you can look towards, how am I relating to my outer environment? Am I resisting, intimacy with my partner? Am I resisting something at work, something in life, something with my kids? Or am I allowing these things to flow? I think this can be a great place to kind of move the needle, right? All we want to do, is start to change our relationship with stress, start to develop more frequent and consistent access to joy and happiness in our life, right? If we can move that needle a little bit every day by developing a practice, by having something that we do every day, by having, a mindful practice, an exercise, having a couple of moments throughout the day, we can start to move that energy, not resist, and I think, if you think on the kind of the woo-woo, hippie, etheric side, like, we've got this energy running through us. It's the Holy Spirit, it's prana, it's chi, it's kundalini, whatever different cultures have called it different things. Am I allowing this energy to move through me, or am I kind of resisting it? Am I staying in these lower energy centers of fear, resentment, anger, overwhelm, feeling trapped, right? These are common emotions that men tend to resist, right? We can become the workaholic, the overachiever, we can become the criminal, we can lean on substance. That's a big one for us, whether it's, legal drugs, illegal drugs, calories, sugar. How am I engaging in my world, and how do I want to be engaging? This is, I think, resistance is really a great place. It's a good place we can explore and look at. And it's definitely been something that, over the years of whether it's therapy, whether it's ayahuasca, or the 12-step work I've done, a lot of it comes back to, resisting the present moment and resisting the emotions that the present moment elicits in me tends to generate more negative consequences than me being in the allowance of that, being in the flow of that. So it's really been it's been a very eye-opening. How are you? Are you allowing flow, or are you kind of resisting that stuff? It's a great common distinction that we can look at when we're looking to level up and when we're looking to make kind of positive, lasting changes.